to 25 breaths per minute అనేది it is okay. It is not an emergency. It may not be an emergency. But non-COVID patient, if someone is going between 20 to 25, we should raise an alert saying, oh, okay, this patient, something is going wrong. So the way the same vital behaves for a particular disease is different from a B particular disease. Thereby, our algorithms are more tuned for COVID monitoring. But all the devices, all the technologies are the same. And our vision is not for only COVID. Our vision is for remote patient monitoring, where we would like to monitor all kinds of patients across multiple disease conditions from the home.
What is the target you have set for yourself for the next few years or so in terms of the number of hospitals that you tie up with or the doctors that you will engage with?
I will not be able to give you a clear number right away, but our target is every general physician and every primary care specialist. We want to enable every doctor to provide digital healthcare services to their patients. So patients in India should not come to the hospitals for problems that can be solved outside the hospital. I'll give you an example. If patient gets a surgery done and gets discharged from the hospital, he gets discharged on 3rd day or 4th day. And currently there is no monitoring that is happening to them. When we have a solution like this, they are connected to the hospital and then people can monitor from the hospital itself. So, telemedicine is something which is taking off in a big pace across the world because of COVID. Because, patients are not willing to come to the hospitals because of the risk of infection. And it is more convenient to get monitored from the house. So, now is the time where hospitals and doctors have to, and they are offering digital healthcare services. And we want to be a leader in digital healthcare services where we take part of COVID monitoring. And we want to, and in terms of an absolute number, we want to reach out to more than 1 lakh patients in the next 6 months' time in a year.
This is the second offering from your company after the heart monitoring solution that you had launched?
That's right.
And what about your funding and investments so far, and what are the plans like going ahead?
We are funded by a group of angel investors. Some doctors in San Francisco are our shareholders. Some people from Australia are our shareholders. So we have raised more than a couple of $1 million from various angel investors, and then we will be raising more amount of money going forward.
Shekhar, this is Kudmanar. See, regarding your pan-India, hello?
Yes.
Yeah, regarding your pan-India expansion, are you doing it on your own, or you are going to tie up with some channel partners?
So we are appointing channel partners first, because India is a very large, diversified country. And because now COVID is a situation where people need this solution fast, and we can't take a lot of time to reach out to them. So we are already appointing distributors and channel partners across the regions, and then we are serving doctors and hospitals through distributors and channel partners. So we will remain as product specialist company where we focus on technology, we focus on artificial intelligence, we focus on machine learning, we focus on how do we make this product better and better to serve more and more people. And we support channel partners to go and reach out to our customers.
Now, what about security? You are now gathering so much of patient information. So, how safe it is?
Well, patient data security is very well laid out policy right now. While Indian policies are still getting framed, data security has been laid out in outside the country long back. We follow all those data security policies. We host all our data in AWS server, which is well secured cloud platform, and everything is there are enough of firewalls and all those things that AWS follows itself to make sure no one is entering it. And AWS as a platform is a HIPAA compliant platform, and those are the protocols that we follow for security.
So that is okay. That is AWS security. What about your own company? When you are analyzing so much of data, something like data anonymity is going on while analyzing, or you connect it to the individual data records?
No. What happens is that's what when you do the security, the data privacy document, the name, the gender, the age of the customer is all anonymized in the data. That is not published anywhere. We only read the vitals. And the actual demographics of the patient and the vitals, they get tagged only when it is seen by a doctor or people who has got the right logins and credentials. Otherwise, the data is all anonymous data. It is anonymized.
So you will be getting so much of interesting trends around COVID and other important diseases. Are you going to publish them?
Of course. We will, the moment we keep getting trends in this COVID, we will be doing publications, and we will be definitely helping doctors and medical fraternity to start looking at things, to use the observations that we are getting and make treatment protocols better and better. And we already started seeing certain trends. For example, we see that the respiratory rate, the number of breaths that you take, and the oxygen saturation is connected. And the heart rate and the oxygen saturation is connected. Before the oxygen saturation actually drops, the heart rate is increasing a little bit. So we are identifying those trends, but it is early to establish them right away. But once we establish those trends, we will be able to come and tell much ahead of time. Before the oxygen saturation drops, 12 hours before, we can come and say, most likely this patient oxygen saturation will drop. Thereby someone will act on the patient and then administer oxygen much ahead, thereby prevent the patient getting more sick.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions that you guys want us to answer? I have my other two co-founders, Ratish and Aki as well, from our leadership team, colleagues, and they can also answer the questions. Or Ratish, you want to add anything? Aki, you want to add anything?
I think you answered and explained most of the stuff, Shekhar. But I think there were a few questions very specific towards the growth and the targets that we have set out. So just to give you some perspective, yes, we are working towards certain targets, and we are finalizing a lot of agreements and a lot of discussions with both channel partners and prospective doctors and hospitals. Probably in the coming weeks and months, we will be able to give you more specific information on those details. But right now, we are not in a position to share those because a lot of those discussions are bound by confidentiality as well. And as part of our strategy, we will be expanding initially within southern states, starting with Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and then moving towards West, Central India and Northern India. And as an organization, we are very technology focused organization, and for us, the way we look at it, entire world is our target market. But we want to make sure we serve our country first before we even step out, and before we even step out of our states, which are like Telangana and Andhra Pradesh.
Kumar, as you were asking about data security, right? Data actually answers very quickly. Let me add up on a couple of things. One advantage of starting being a startup in this age is that we can start from the learning from the industry already, right? So unlike many solutions that people have to build in security top down, we have the opportunity to build it bottom up. So the way we do it is starting from the building blocks where we are keeping our personal data, what is the vital. All those three separations kind of built all through. So which essentially means is that only when we need to report to the doctor and patient, the rest of the time they're all completely separated. We only marry them only when they need to report. And the rest of the machine learning and all that they're applying, they're only applying on the data which is anonymous and also completely separated from the personal data. So that's how, any regulation that will come in, in current regulations or future regulations, the design that we have completely enables us to meet them very, very quickly. So that's what I wanted to add.
Thank you, Ravi. Naina or Srinivas, is there anything that you want us to cover in this discussion? We'll be happy.
I think you covered the entire perspective from the media point. So we'll close the session probably.
Thank you.
Any more questions we can take up, or we can just, we can commence, we can end the session.
Yeah, the press briefing that is being sent has got the numbers from our side. Please feel free to call us, and if there are any questions that any one of you think that we have to answer one-on-one, we are happy to do that. Our core intention is to take this solution to people and help them stay safe from where they are. And it is very, very heartening to see how people are feeling so comfortable once they are getting monitored with the assurance that there is some doctor who is actually looking at them. And if there is some problem, they will immediately tell us, and then that's when we can rush to the hospital, then getting panic about it. So I only request all our media friends is to make people aware of this solution, and let's benefit the society with this kind of a solution.
There's a question in the chat.
We have a question from Kiran from V3 News. He is asking, please let me know what are the price and change charges regarding this, and is it near to poor people?
Right now, the pricing that we are giving is in the range of about 1,200 to 1,500 rupees per day. That's a kind of a price, ballpark pricing that we have for the starting service. At the same time, within the next 2 to 3 to 4 months, the moment we pick up our volume, we expect that the price is further going to reduce and make it more and more accessible to people. So that's a kind of a pricing that we have. But bottom line, our intention is not to make this solution for the rich. This solution is not for the rich, and India is full of middle class, and we want to make our solutions accessible for middle class population. And once we pick up volumes, we will also come up with various ways of subsidizing it to certain segments of the society as well. But our intention is to serve as many people as possible.
Thank you, Shikhar. Any further questions?
Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll end the press conference with this. Thank you very much. If you have any further questions, we are always available to respond to them.
Thank you all. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
down. Bye-bye.